This one is from the AITA subreddit. It is, am I the astronaut for leaving the engagement dinner due to my fiance's obsession with the dog? I, 28 male, proposed recently to my girlfriend, 27 female. We are planning the wedding to happen next year. My fiance has a 5-year-old golden retriever mix. I had a few bad experiences with dogs as a kid. Her dog is very friendly and he gets all the attention from my fiance. She denied some jobs that won't let her work from home as she is worried about the dog. I work from home 3 days a week and she only texts asking how the dog is. I planned this very nice trip last week to celebrate our engagement. I booked a nice hotel and made reservations at a nice restaurant. One of our close friends stayed with the dog. My fiance asked her to text with an update every 2 hours. I did my best to make it a wonderful weekend. We had reservations for 7 p.m. at the restaurant. My fiance didn't get ready until 6:40 as she hadn't heard from the sitter. When we arrived at the restaurant, we had to wait 30 minutes for a table to open. When we sat down, my fiance spent the entire dinner on her phone trying to get a hold of the friend. I paid for the meal and got up from the table telling her that I was going to wait in the car. She came out 20 minutes later screaming at me for leaving her at the table alone. Woo! Okay, so the story is, am I the asshole for leaving the engagement dinner due to my fiance's obsession with the dog? That's coming off. I can't do it anymore. So this was a celebration with just the two of them to celebrate the engagement, and she was too preoccupied with the dog to be able to enjoy anything. I think you're getting a good preview here into, what the rest of your life is going to be like, OP. And if anything, this may be a blessing because you're engaged now, but you are not yet married. And this is something that you either need to accept and support, or you draw a hard boundary line on and communicate that and hope that she respects it, or it's a deal breaker. You have limited options here about which way to go with this. I assume that you knew how she was with her dog whenever you got engaged. So signed up for this. At least you took the next step, and now maybe having second thoughts about it. Leaving the dinner and, her waiting for the meal. She came out 20 minutes later screaming for leaving her at the table alone. I imagine she was pissed off about that. This is a tit for tat kind of thing. I don't think that trading blows is the way to go here. You probably need to communicate and say, hey, can you put that away for a little bit so we can enjoy this dinner? Instead of just retaliating, because now it's just a one-up game. By the way, you're engaged. You're going to be married. You're going to have to learn how to communicate through conflict. And the first year of that after getting married is the toughest because you're learning how to do that, but you're getting a crash course right now. So it's either something you're going to learn to communicate through, find a solution for, and you're going to be okay with it, or she's going to back off of it a little bit, or it's going to be a deal breaker. And the way that it looks and sounds right now is that this is not going to work out well for you guys. So I kind of think you are the asshole for leaving the engagement dinner due to your fiance's obsession with the dog because you got engaged to her, knowing who she was and knowing how she felt about the dog. I understand you have your own feelings as well, but you did this instead of communicating about it. So let's take a look here and figure out where you're going to be, because you should have done this differently. Is it more than a 3? Is it a 2? You definitely shouldn't have gotten up and left the dinner. It might be. This might be a 2. This is, and everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks. Yes, she's going overboard. She's, treating the dog like a kid, but you knew this about her. And instead of communicating about it, you just got up and left. And that was a childish response too. So learn how to talk, guys. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to figure out a solution to this. And here you could have communicated your feelings and said, this is how this is making me feel. Can we address this? Can you back off of it just for this dinner? Is there something that we can do? And instead took the childish approach of just being like, I'm taking my ball and going home. And that's not going to work. It's not going to work with a marriage. You got to figure it out. Here's the deal. He said he had a few bad experiences with dogs as a kid. So he has this wall. The dog gets all the attention from the fiance. So you've got a dog lover here, and you've got, I'm not going to say a dog hater, but a dog keep his distance person. This is going to be tough to mix. It's going to be really tough to mix. I don't know, but this is one of those things where they've got to communicate through it, and he knew what he was getting into. That's why, they got engaged. So he apparently accepted that part of her, at least at the time, and now he just has to follow through. I keep thinking here, what if it was a human baby? Would he be as jealous then? Would he, have this big of an issue, or would he be on board then? What if he was like, I've had some bad experiences with babies in my past, and then later on, it's this kind of crap.